Hello, welcome again to Wisdom Nuggets for Impartation. Last week we began to talk about the steps to the anointing, the steps to the impartation, the practical steps that we need to take in order to be imparted. Don't forget again, impartation is the transferring of anointing from an anointed vessel to another vessel, usually not anointed or not carrying that specific anointing. So the first practical step we talked about last week was having a genuine heart towards the servant of God. That's the first practical step. If you want to be anointed through impartation, you have to have a perfect heart, a great heart, a genuine heart towards the person that is carrying the anointing. We shared from Proverbs chapter 27 verse 19. It says, as in water, face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man. The heart of the anointed would respond to your heart when you have a genuine heart towards that anointed vessel. So try to overcome all barriers that try to take away this with you. It doesn't matter what people say about you. It doesn't matter what people think about you. Just make sure that you have a genuine heart towards the anointed vessel of God. If you do that, it's just a matter of time. It will become so obvious. Let's talk about another step today. And today we'll talk about step number two. Steps to practical steps to impartation. Step 2 is serve the anointing on the anointed servant of God. Serve the anointing on the anointed servant of God. I remember I heard Benny Hinn say this many years ago, that when you serve an anointed person, a servant of God, just don't forget that you're actually serving the anointing on his life. The anointing on his life. A good example is, again, Elijah and Elisha. Notice in this verse how Elisha was described. In 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 11, at that time, Israel and Judah were in trouble and they were in crisis and they needed to hear the voice of God. Those days, the anointing was carried by specific people like the prophets, the kings, the judges, etc. So they were looking for someone who had the voice of God. Look at what they said here in 2 Kings chapter 3 verse 11. But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord, that we may inquire of the Lord by him? And one of the king of Israel's servants answered and said, here is Elisha, son of Shaphat. Look at how they describe Elisha, which poured water on the hands of Elijah. Poured water on the hands of Elijah. So here, Elisha, who got imparted and carried double the anointing on Elijah, is described here as someone who poured water. In other words, someone who was serving. In the Jewish culture, understand that if someone had a role of pouring water on your hands, that means that person is your complete servant. So it is serving the anointed, serving the anointing on the anointed's life that would bring impartation. So practically, how do you do that? Very simple. Do something in the church or the ministry of the anointed. Don't just sit and be like the sons of the prophets who watch Elisha, or they watch Elijah and Elisha from far and just commented. Do something. Then join the ministry, join the church properly. There are many people who are in church and in ministries who are double-minded. They're there, but they are not thinking in the right way, or they don't see themselves as members. Join with your whole heart and don't be double-minded. If you're in a beautiful, great church like I am in the UD, you become a shepherd. Serve with your time, serve with your money, serve with your energy, and pour water on the hands of the anointed vessel that is carrying the treasure that you are looking for. Again, be smart. Don't just go beating about the bush. Do the things that will lead to impartation. Help the anointed, serve him. And as you do these things, just like Elisha became anointed and by getting imparted from Elijah, you will also be anointed. Stay blessed, and I hope to come again your way next week with another step to great impartations. God bless you.